examine the invasion, where we discuss the occupation, where we give voice to the conquered. Blue and Black Attack presents Ryan Thunder.
Welcome to another episode of Invaders Spotlight, and once again tonight I am your host, Deeze Skills. I am here with two fantastic members of the Blue and Black Attack. Number one, the salty superstar, Panther Pickle himself is here, and Jake the Snake, our Invaders Spotlight hero for sure. We're going to have a great show tonight here on Invaders Spotlight as we talk about the Carolina Panthers. Did they leave a hole in their defense during this free agency period? Did Dan leave a stone unturned? Did Dan let the gates down to the drawbridge and let the invaders in? Did we not shore up this defense enough to feel confident about them in 2026? Is the defense primed and ready to go? Will it be the best Avero defense that we've seen? Did we make a mistake by letting Jaelan Robinson go to the Buccaneers? How much are the Carolina Panthers going to regret that decision moving forward? Panther Pickle, I'm going to kick it to you first. Let's talk about this defensive line and where we are now that we've lost Jaelan Robinson.
I don't think it was a mistake. I like Jaelan. I'd like to keep Jaelan. But Jaelan got paid real good money by Tampa. I don't wish him all the luck in the world. I don't want to see Tampa win one game. So, sorry, Jaelan. But we got Bobby Brown. We got Derek Brown. Tishir Wharton, LeBron Leray, Cam Jackson, and Jarrett Harris Hunter, whatever his fucking name is. They are going to compete for that other spot. But, or do they bring in a draft pick? Do they spend a? Do they get Peter Woods? Do they go get somebody in the second, third, fourth, fifth round to slide in on the other side or to challenge Tishir Wharton? Because Tishir Wharton's contract is so much so that you're stuck with him this year, you're not stuck with him next year. That's how these contracts are made by Brent Tillis, probably the most underrated person in the entire front office that people won't talk about.
No, great point, Pickle. So what we're looking at as we let go of Jaelan Robinson is who's going to step into that starting role. And, of course, we would assume it would be Turk Wharton. But Turk Wharton had a kind of a rough year last year, Jake. I don't think that he met a lot of expectations that Panthers fans had. And I don't feel like he was available all year like Panthers fans expected. How are you feeling about this defensive line, first of all? Number two, letting go of Jaelan Robinson. And then number three, I assume that we're starting Turk Wharton going forward. How do you feel about these things, Jake?
I still like our defensive line. I mean, of course, we still got big Derek Brown, who, I mean, what a season again. I mean, have him healthy back. I mean, tremendous. He made our defensive line insane again, so to speak. I'm so glad that we have a very healthy Derek Brown now, and going into the season, we have a healthy Derek Brown. But I also like Bobby Brown. I still have faith in Bobby Brown. I think we didn't see enough of Bobby Brown. Hopefully, Evero schemes him up and keeps him out there, because I think having Bobby Brown out there next to Derek Brown, so to speak, is a nasty combination. And I for sure rather have Bobby Brown out there at the defensive tackle, nose tackle, so to speak, over Tershawn Wharton. I'd rather have Tershawn Wharton out there at the end, so to speak, and I think that's the better position for him. Unfortunately, injuries did hurt Tershawn Wharton last year, and I mean, he's going into a big season. I mean, there's a lot of players on our team that has a, prove it season, so to speak. It has a big season that's upon them, but yeah, Tershawn Wharton, he's got to go out there and show that he still has it. I mean, he wasn't no scrub for Kansas City. I think, he had a bigger role and vision for him when we signed him in free agency, and unfortunately injuries, and he didn't just live up to, the hype and, the vision that Evero had him in our system. But I still like our defensive line. I still think we could add some depth a little bit to the defensive line behind them. I love Cam Jackson. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to have a tremendous year too as well. But yeah, I still really love this defensive line, and I love this defense as a whole going into this season.
Yeah, we definitely upgraded the linebackers, which was a big deal. But without getting into that and really rounding out the front seven, just focusing on the defensive line, Pickle, let me get you back in here. He brought up the next thing I was going to ask. And do you see Cam Jackson overtaking LeBron Ray? I mean, is that what's going to happen? We know Cam Jackson wasn't active for a lot of games last year. They continuously didn't give him a jersey or give him the opportunity to even play and grow. So how much development can we really expect from Cam Jackson after a year where he didn't really play that much? And how's he going to beat out a guy that's played so much as LeBron and Ray? What are you seeing at the bottom of this depth chart for the defensive line?
Well, LeBron Ray was a restricted free agent, so and one thing about Cam Jackson, he's here long term. But Cam Jackson did play some last year. He was in a lot of key plays. Week 11, for example, he played and was active in the win against the Atlanta Falcons. He was more active later in the season. And you know what? As a base formation, when you're running 3-4, you have 3 down linemen. I could see them slowly edging him in as like the guy off the bench in those situations. But also when you're talking about when you go into the nickel or the dime deep, the nickel we're in a lot. Or the 4-2-5 is what they call it now. But excuse me, when you're in those a lot, you're going to see 2 edge rushers, and you're going to see, and then that when they do that, they rotate your inside guys a lot. What Cam Jackson has to do, you know, he has to beat LeBron Ray out and to secure his roster spot. And once he starts getting more playing time, I think he has the power. He's not all that fast. Where Tisha Wharton often lines up on the outside and a base formation, he'll never have the speed Wharton has. But I think he very easily could defeat LeBron Ray and Jared Hunter, Harris Hunter. But again, it's up to him and how much he shows up for Camp Ready.
You know, one of the thoughts that a lot of Panthers fans have, Jake, is maybe looking towards the draft and bringing in a guy that could help shore up this run defense. We know from a couple years back that the Panthers were really poor at stopping the run. It improved last year, but certainly not league best or barely even middle of the league. And losing somebody like Jaelan Robinson, who was a great run stuffer for us, it is a concern of mine moving forward into 2026 that we did create a hole in this defense. Do you feel like there's someone in the draft that maybe the Panthers could look at and target to help shore up this run defense or this defensive line in general?
I mean, yeah, and not only that, what we're losing out of Jaelan Robinson too is a leader too. I mean, not only a leader but a culture builder. I mean, you can see that connection that he had with Derrick Brown. I mean, they fed off each other, so to speak. But yeah, I definitely think we should add some depth to the defensive tackle position, or just the edge position as well along the defensive line. In the draft, though, I know a lot of people, we've been linked to Peter Woods somehow in the first round, in the later half. I mean, I like him, right? From Clemson. We've never drafted a Clemson Tiger, but who knows? You know, Dan Morgan's had an incredible offseason. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But yeah, Peter Woods, I mean, he had a down year, so to speak, to a lot of people's expectations of him, but he's still a very solid player. I think he's 6'3". He's over 300 pounds. He's a run stopper. He can also pass rush at the same time. But yeah, he could definitely be a target for us. But at the same time, I vision us more than likely drafting a guy on the defensive line somewhere later in the draft to target.
It looks to me like they're planning on a whole lot of Brown and Brown. Bobby Brown and Derrick Brown. It looks like that's the game plan kind of moving forward. And we got to remember, Jaelan Robinson had probably his 2 best seasons here with the Panthers the past 2 years, like you were saying. And no, I don't think you can really discount the fact of how much he helped build that locker room. I really don't. I mean, I know Jaelan Robinson, I know why we let him go was a cap casualty. It wasn't like we didn't like what he did here. It was just the fact the money didn't work for us anymore. And he played his tail off, and he earned his payday with the Buccaneers. But to keep him in the division just seems like a shame, because now we got to play him twice a year. And we got to remember we got Rico Dowdle coming up, and he's got a target on our back too. It just seems like we got a lot of players that walked out free agency that have a chip on their shoulder against the Panthers, and that's not something I particularly look forward to. But to bring it back in sight, do you feel like Panther Pickle that the running game is going to be we're going to be okay stopping the run on that defensive side of the football? I know we got a great front seven upgraded with the linebackers, but just the defensive line itself is what I'm really concerned with. Or do you feel like we still have holes there and we're looking to draft somebody to fill a hole, or do you feel like the Panthers are fully confident with what we have on the roster?
I think we're confident with what they have on the roster. And now injuries aside, because injuries will probably happen anyway. But injuries aside, now, but to be honest, they're putting a lot on the card of Ashawn Wharton. Trisha Wharton, the one they spent a lot of money on last year for the agency. They really are spending a lot of faith in him to hold down that spot. Last year you had a backup guy with Ashawn that could do it, and he ended up doing it because Wharton was hurt a lot last year, and you're not, if Wharton gets hurt, he's out. You're kind of up a shit creek without a paddle. So, and yeah. For those out there know, I haven't been that guy screaming to draft the inside defensive tackles, but if you look at that, we very well could. I believe that we've positioned ourselves in the draft to where anything's possible with the first pick or any other pick we have. Anything.
Yeah, the thing about it is these guys are slower to develop when you draft them on the defensive line. They don't typically come out and have great first couple of seasons, and it feels to me like the need is now. Not that I don't trust the Browns, Bobby Brown and Derek Brown. I think those guys are going to be rock solid. But it's the issues that you guys have brought up. It's the people afterwards. We don't really know where they're at in their development, and we don't know about their ability to stay healthy. The worst thing I can think of is somebody like Turk Wharton taking another injury in a pregame warm-up. I mean, that's like Dave said, he's never seen that happen before. And he didn't miss it was more than 2 games, was it not, Jake? I mean, does that kind of injury make you question his dedication at all to the Panthers?
I mean, I don't know if it's dedication. I mean, it sucks when you have an injury bug like that. And I don't know if it's body conditioning. I don't know if it's just not doing what he's supposed to when it comes to nutrition or what it is. But it's definitely something that he's going to have to work out because, I mean, right now he is going to be a rotational piece starter. Who knows? He's definitely going to be getting playing time for our defense on our defensive line no matter what. But I also want to pencil in a guy that we haven't talked about, even though he's listed as a right or outside linebacker, so to speak, Jaelan Phillips, who in the Vic Fangio system with the Miami Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles, he played not only as an outside linebacker, he had his hand in there off the edge on the defensive line. He also had defensive tackle reps as well. So I think he's a guy who's going to be all over that defensive line, not just standing up as a linebacker covering as well. I mean, that dude is very versatile. And we just got done talking about Tershawn Wharton and his injury history. We just got to hope and pray that Jaelan Phillips stays healthy for his tenure here.
I don't think you're going to see a lot of 3-man fronts this coming season. I don't think you're going to see those. Occasionally you may, but I think you're not going to see them as much, not in enough to even call it a 3-4 defense. I think you're going to see a lot of 4-man fronts. I know they still like to get Princely and Nick Scorton both involved in the defense. Nick will start on the other side. I think you're going to see a lot of 4-man fronts. You may see a 4-man front and then one of the down linemen drop into coverage, which would give you that edge that you need. You may see that a lot. But where after the snap it appears to be a 3-man front, but in reality it's not because one of the edge rushers dropped into coverage. That's what Ivero does a lot of anyway. It's what he did a lot on you last year. So, but I think the defensive line itself is good, but again, the depth behind them is all super young, and you just don't know how that works out.
No, we really don't. Go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna say, just pay attention to how Evra uses his safeties in our system. Look how he's gonna use Jaelan Phillips. He's gonna use him just as he uses his safety. He's gonna be all over the place. Really, he's gonna be like I said, he's gonna be hand in the dirt on the defensive line, sitting back, bull rushing, wherever Evra wants him to be. He's gonna be doing it because the dude is very versatile, and just like Vic Fangio, who Evra learned under, they have the same exact type of scheme wise. He likes having his safeties versatile. He likes having his edge rushers versatile, and he loves having his linebackers versatile.
Agree 100%. It sounds like we've come to a conclusion that this scheme is more important than the talent of the players, at least for this year, with the addition of somebody like Jaelan Phillips. I think we've had a good conversation about the defensive line. Real quick, I wanted to outline our chat spotlight, a new thing that we're doing. We have a community post we do every week on Wednesday, and Invaders have been taking center stage on that. And I want to thank Panther Gal for getting on there and making a great comment about the Bryce Young situation, going out and making sure Bryce got John Mechie here. And I also want to give a shout out to Michael Wydrick as well for commenting on the video last week, letting us know how he felt about the Invaders video. So thank you, both you guys. Great comments.
I appreciate you, folks.
And AJ Brooks, too. AJ Brooks, let me spotlight him real quick. AJ got in there and said he loves this Invaders episodes or these videos that we're putting out for Invaders Spotlight. He says he always loves these and the intros to them as well. So shout out to him. Thank you so much. That's our chat spotlight for the Invaders Spotlight show, guys. We're going to go ahead and call this one a night. Make sure you tune in Mondays and Thursdays. Monday is live with Deal With It. Panther Pickle hosts his show. And then Thursday, live, the Cole Show. And don't forget the Brotherhood videos coming out as well in more of a weekly wrap-up that we're seeing. But stay tuned to Invaders Spotlight. Look for those community posts on Wednesday. Make sure you get your 2 cents in so you can be in the chat spotlight next time here on Invaders Spotlight. Have a great night, guys, and keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
Keep pounding.